Greetings. I am the Elite Sun Goddess, the Goddess General, sharing my energetic signature with the globe. And I need y'all to just bear with me because I wanted to come outside and sit under the moon so that I could deliver this message. And I have a lot of messages and note cards here, so I'll be looking at the camera back and forth, okay? All right. I have for the divine enforcement agents, okay, the divine collective, cosmic messages from the ancestors from other dimensions, okay. As divine enforcement agents, we manipulate time through non-physical means, spiritually, psychologically, clairaudiently accessing intergalactic messages, okay. Warp drives and wormholes are theoretical in a scientific sense. However, esoterically, it relates to intergalactic travel. Alien esoteric, from a theosophical point of view, elaborates and confirms the reception of these intergalactic messages and the channels we receive from these alien beings and or ascended masters. This is a frequency that contrasts with the Arecibo messages. However, the interstellar radio message is also a way to communicate with extraterrestrials, to send messages concerning Earth and humanity. This is what the government, the shadow government, doesn't want you to know, or doesn't want the masses to know, okay? They do communicate with otherworldly beings. The ancient astronaut theory is not a theory. It's a fact about ancient civilizations that predates Christianity and other religions. The Sumerian tablets and Anunnaki are examples of ancient astronauts. And I know that was a lot, and I'm still not finished, so I'm just going to go back and kind of furthermore explain exactly where I'm going with this. Talking about time travel, okay? And time travel is moving between different points in time. The esoteric concept involves manipulating time through spiritual, psychological, and non-physical means. Contrasting with scientific approaches, this includes using consciousness or intuition to access different points in time, altering the past through changes in perception, or experiencing different timelines through altered states of mind. So, we move to the intergalactic travel, which is a journey between galaxies, and the spiritual or mystical concept of astral projection, or similar phenomenon, where the consciousness travels beyond the body or the physical body. In esotericism, it is often described as a mental or spiritual journey to other realms or planes through practice like meditation and communing with Source, okay? These warp drives and wormholes are theoretical in their sense. However, esoterically possible, relating to intergalactic travel. We discussed I did mention about the alien esoteric, and the Theosophical Society is the spiritualism suggesting they receive messages from cosmic masters through mediums in a trance state, and it refers to beliefs, theories, and groups that blend extraterrestrial or alien ideas with spiritual, mystical, or occult concepts. Now, these intergalactic messages, the extraterrestrial contact, such as channeling messages from alien beings or spiritual guides, the ascended masters from other planets, galactic federations, and light body activations through sacred geometry, they contrast definitely with scientific messages or messaging efforts like the Arecibo message, which are intended to be understandable and evidence-based. So, we know that contrasting the intergalactic messages. The contrast of that would be to scientifically say, okay, well, this is hypothetical. We're gonna say this is the way that this can possibly happen. But I'm speaking from an esoteric standpoint, which means it's real. Okay, it's just unknown. The Arecibo message. The Arecibo message is an interstellar radio message carrying basic information about humanity and Earth that was sent to the globular cluster Messier 13. Sorry about that. In 1974, a pictorial radio broadcast sent towards the M13 globular star cluster intended to demonstrate humanity's scientific and technological knowledge to extraterrestrials. Composed of binary digits, it depicts information about the numbers 1 through 10. So binary codes, right? The key elements to life, DNA, a human figure, our solar systems, and the Arecibo telescope itself. And then we got into the ancient astronaut theory. This is no theory. This is real. It's the idea that aliens visited Earth in the past and influenced ancient civilizations. Proponents often interpret religious texts, etc. And I said the example to that would be the Sumerian tablets and the Anunnaki, okay? Which brings me to Lucifer. Lucifer, the light bringer, shines light on the planet Venus, which represents the divine principle of love, beauty, and spirituality pertaining to sacred marriage, okay? Or union, I'm going to say, with self and your divine counterpart. It's here. Now, Source gave me some messages, and I also want to say that too about that Lucifer, or the phosphorus. In Roman and Greek traditions, the planet Venus was associated with the figure of Lucifer, the light bringer, or phosphorus, which is dawn bringer, okay? In some esoteric systems, it is interpreted as a spiritual principle of light and guidance, although the name Lucifer was demonized in some Christian interpretations. If you are in a organized religion and they are telling you that Lucifer, is bad, or they're using it as in a demonic sense, that is incorrect. FYI, Lucifer means light bringer, okay? Now, Spirit told me, these are my messages here that I received from Source that I must relay, okay? Global judgment on the historical cover-ups and wrongdoings by false kings and queens and the fraudulent leaders that have been in position. Judgment to those who have poisoned their people, unalived, and stolen their true identity, land, and wealth. Judgment is on global governments. Your foresight of investing in yourself because you realized you had weak boundaries caused you to have a rebirth and discover your gifts, Divine Collective. There are also some male sex cults that are being exposed and seen for their sex traffic rings. These are people within your communities. These people came together and decided to sacrifice and unalive their families for offers of finances. And now they are getting communication about prison, okay? And they are being mentally tormented by this communication, or by the communication that is getting ready to happen, all right? Right now, they are in the physical being tormented mentally, in the spiritual sense. Mentally unstable because they're being exposed. And as the high priest and high priestesses, these are people that rejected you and the love you had for them and the guidance you provided in illuminating the path. How you vibrate on your frequency that's unreachable at this point, okay? It helped you to reach a point on your journey to vibrate to the point where you've become unreachable to lower frequencies. The prophecy is being fulfilled. I want to give you something I read today on the communication with extraterrestrials intelligence. And this is a document that is through the NSA government. And you can look it up yourself. Lambros D. Kalimahas. Okay? And this was something that was done in 1971. A six-nation multidisciplinary conference was held in Soviet Armenia on communication with extraterrestrials intelligence or extraterrestrial intelligence. The U.S. delegation of about 24 scientists was headed by Dr. Carl Sagan of the Center for Radiophysics and Space Research at Cornell University. The report of this conference, published in 1973 by MIT, delays with the subject's evolution of intelligence, the lifetimes of, I'm sorry, that's not correct. It dealt, I'm sorry about start reading. It dealt with the subjects on evolution of intelligence, the lifetimes of technical civilizations, and the number of advanced galactic civilizations. A group of scientists at Arecibo Observatory in Puerto Rico sent a 3-minute message beamed at Messier 13, and this represented man's first attempt to take the initiative in communicating with another civilization. The project was conducted by the National Astronomy and Ionosphere Center, which operates the Arecibo Observatory for Cornell University and the National Science Foundation. The Messier 13 is a cluster of 300,000 stars on the edge of the Milky Way, 24,000 light years away. If the message is received and answered promptly, it would take 48,000 years. This is an example of warp drives in scientific explanation. However, the esoteric meaning allows us to intergalactically travel by astral projections and mental or spiritual journeys to other realms or planes to receive the intergalactic messages. These intergalactic messages are our clairaudience abilities, our psychic hearing, activating, allowing us to perceive sounds and messages from beyond the physical world. I am the Elite Sun Goddess, the Goddess General. I am Master, and I Self Lord. Ashe, all I say.